I'm your new teacher, Jeremy Brown, B.A., Oxon.
You're a man.
Yes.
Well, this is most unsatisfactory. This won't do at all.
Well, I assure you my credentials are impeccable.
Academically, perhaps. I'm talking about sex.
Oh, I also assure you my morals are perfectly respectable, too.
I'm referring to the fact that you are a man. I distinctly requested the local authority to send me a woman teacher, especially in view of what happened with Mr. Warburton.
Mr. Warburton?
Yes. He was teaching English to foreign students last term. I'm afraid he only lasted a month. Then he departed.
Dead?
Demented. Yes, the strain was too much for him. Typical of the male sex. No stamina. Always seemed to be able to cope at first, and then one day he just snapped. It was really quite disgusting.
Really? What did he do?
Climbed out of the classroom window onto the roof, took off all his clothes, and stood there stark naked, singing, "I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts."
Very distressing. Well, there's no need to worry on my account. I mean, I'm not likely to climb out of the classroom window.
I know you aren't.
Oh, thank you for your confidence.
It has nothing to do with confidence. We've had the window frames nailed down.
How very thoughtful. Well, I really would appreciate the job, Mrs. Courtney.
Miss
Courtney. I am qualified, and I rather do need a job, what with the economic situation and inflation.
All right, there's no need to whimper. You can start immediately.
Thank you.
On a month's trial.
Thank you.
If you last that long.
Ah, Mrs. Courtney. Miss. Well, I've just dismissed the class for the night. I think we've just about covered all there is to for the first session.
You look a trifle under the weather. Job getting you down already?
Oh, no, I'm fine. Never felt better. There's just one thing, though.
Yes?
That window you nailed down, the one Mr. Warburton climbed out of.
What about it?
I think we ought to put a few more nails in, just to be on the safe side.
Oh, it's all right, don't bother. I merely wanted to tell you that you can expect another student.
Oh, jolly good. More the merrier.
You're not here to make merry, Mr. Brown.
No, it was just a figure of speech.
Well, you better try teaching a few figures of speech to your students.
Yes,
they seem to be in need of it. Enter. It has taken you 2 minutes, 38 seconds exactly to come to my office immediately. I'm glad I didn't ask you to take your time. The new student is a female.
Is she? Well, you didn't tell me that.
Oh, my apologies, Mr. Kenyon, and I do assure you that Mr. Brown will be severely dealt with.
Quiet, please. Good evening, Miss Courtney.
It's almost good night.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry I'm late. I was detained at the paper shop.
Mr. Brown, I know the times are hard, but do you have to deliver newspapers?
Oh, no, I bought them. They're for the students as part of their education.
Well, they certainly need some education.
Yes.
I think I've heard enough.
They are better than they were.
They could hardly be worse.
I really am very sorry.
I should hope you are.
Hope it hasn't inconvenienced you.
Well, of course it's inconvenienced me. I was quite happily curled up in bed with Daphne du Maurier.
Miss Courtney.
What on earth is going on in here?
Well, we were just having a few practical lessons.
What in? Unarmed combat?
Oh, it might come in useful.
Oh,
Wanted to see me, Miss Courtney?
yes. Oh, I understand it's your birthday.
That's correct. Another milestone?
Personally, I don't believe in celebrating birthdays. I fail to see how the passing of years can be an occasion for rejoicing.
No, of course, you're right, I suppose.
Now, Mr. Brown, when you commenced teaching here, I said that I would give you a month's trial.
Yes.
Well, that month is now up, and I feel it only fair to put an end to your worry about the future.
Well, that's very kind of you. I can assure you, you won't regret it.
I know I won't. Miss Hardacre will start on Wednesday.
Miss Hardacre?
Yes. She will be taking over your class. You remember I did tell you that I prefer women teachers.
You mean I've got the push?
Well, let us just say that we no longer require your services. I feel that Miss Hardacre would be much more suitable. I thought you'd gone.
Yeah, I was just collecting my things.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. We were having our photograph taken.
I was not aware that photography was included in the curriculum.
Yes, well, would you all sit down, please? And, Danielle, would you stand up?
But what about our photo?
Yeah, well, we'll see about that later, all right? Go and sit down. It was for her parents.
I just came to bring you the answers to last year's examination papers.
Thank you.
Huh. Mr. Brown, your students have been at it again.
What? Not more graffiti?
No, not this time. Read this.
Young virile male student wishes to meet nice lady from cookery class for evenings of mutual pleasure. Apply Maximilian Papandreou.
Kindly inform Mr. Papandreou that the notice board is for official notices and not for procuring young women.
Right. I'm sure his intentions were quite innocent.
Evenings of mutual pleasure?
Yes, well, he probably only wanted her to whip up an omelette.
Well, tell him to whip up his own omelettes.
Right, I'll have a word with him.
See that you do.
Your coffee, Miss Courtney.
Thank you, Gladys. Oh, by the way, Mr. Brown, how is the mock examination coming along?
Oh, well, we haven't started it yet. We're going to get cracking just as soon as we've finished our tea break.
Well, I do hope that the results will be good. Otherwise, I shall have to think about axing the course.
Axing the course? You wouldn't do that, surely?
I most certainly would. It would be a complete waste of time for them to carry on and sit for an examination they have no hope of passing. Thank you, Gladys. I've sent her to the tea room.
Oh, good. Well, I think it might be a good idea if Ellie and I were left alone. I presume you'll speak to Miss Sully?
You presume wrong. I think Mr. Nadim should do his own dirty work. Yes? How dare you, you dirty old man!
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Whoever you are, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
It's me, Jeremy Brown.
Well, what are you doing, making obscene phone calls?
I'm in bed with Flo.
In bed with who?
Flo?
Well, this is most inconvenient. Typical of the weaker sex. I shall expect you to be better by Monday. In the meantime, I suppose I shall have to take your class. Hello.
Oh, hello, Miss Courtney. I just wanted to tell you that I got all the students' homework here. Perhaps if you could send someone round to collect it.
We do not have a messenger service, Mr. Brown. Are you sure you're too ill to come in?
Well, yeah, I still feel pretty groggy. I mean, besides, I wouldn't like you to catch my cold.
I never catch cold.
I expect the germs freeze to death instantly in your...
What was that?
Oh, nothing. No, look, I'd better hang up. But if you want the homework, it's here.
What are you doing here?
I warm bed for Master Ji.
It's all right, Miss Courtney. She means she was just warming a hot water bottle for me.
Mr. Brown, it is highly improper for this young lady to be here alone with a man.
Ah, well, I can assure you, Miss Courtney, that nothing improper is taking place. Hello, Miss Courtney.
This is disgraceful.
No, please. This is Congo.
Silence! I suggest you all leave immediately. As for you, Mr. Brown, words fail.
Oh, come on, Miss Courtney. They're only coming here to cheer me up a
I
bit.
warn you, Mr. Brown, that if this sort of thing ever occurs again in the future, you are out.
It's like they were...
Mr. Brown!
What seems to be the problem, Miss Courtney?
This is. I just came in here and found him. Well, he seems to be some sort of foreigner, but I can't get a word out of him. Is he one of yours?
No, I'm not.
Well, you can find out what he's doing here. After all, you do seem to have a way with these foreign persons.
Well, I'll do my best. We've got a bit of a problem. Captain Ivanovich is outside.
Oh, don't tell me his compatriot has escaped.
Oh, no, Boris is safely on his way back to the ship.
Well, then why has the captain returned?
Well, he wants to defect. You see, he says, like Boris, that he's fallen heels over head in love.
Oh, these foreigners are impossible. Why, tell him to go away. His infatuations have nothing to do with us.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid this one has. You see, he says he's fallen in love with you.
You say that Mr. Brown is engaged to his French student?
That's right. I heard her tell Mr. Jarvis in the tea room.
Well, this is absolutely disgraceful. I think he might have had the decency to tell me first.
Tell you?
Yes. It's most inconsiderate.
Oh, dear. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Didn't know what?
Oh, nothing. I must be getting back.
Oh, well, if it isn't the college Casanova.
Yes, well, I've come to explain about that.
Are you sure you can spare the time?
It's a complete misunderstanding. You see, I'm not really engaged to Danielle. She only said that to stop one of the teachers from pestering her.
Really?
Oh, it's perfectly true. The chap who takes the woodwork class was trying to chat her up.
Mr. Jarvis?
Is that his name? Well, I've never met him. Anyway, she concocted the whole thing just to get out of an embarrassing situation.
I see.
I'm terribly sorry. Especially in view of, well...
In view of what?
Yeah, well, I hardly like to mention it.
Well, you have mentioned it, so you may as well continue.
Well, let me say right away that it's a perfectly natural thing to happen.
What is?
Well, for one person to be attracted to another despite a difference in their ages.
To what two persons are you referring?
Well, you and I.
You and I?
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Brown, I'd no idea you felt like that about me. Well, as you said yourself, it's perfectly natural. Oh, you poor dear boy.
Oh, no, Miss Courtney, you don't understand.
Oh, but I do. Men have always found me rather fascinating.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. Look, let me explain.
Now, there's no need to apologise for the way you feel.
Yes, but
Of course, it's out of the question.
But, Miss Courtney, please.
Now, don't start grovelling. Don't get over it. Good evening, Mr. Brown.
Good evening, Miss Courtney.
Headache?
No, thanks. I've already got one.
Would you like a couple of aspirin?
Oh, I think I need a drink, actually.
A strong black coffee might help.
Yeah, a double scotch might help a bit more. No, I need a break. A nice, quiet 10 minutes away from my students will do me the world of good.
The truth, Mr. Brown, must be told.
Do you think it's wise? I mean, it's a bit of a shock to realise that you're related to someone so rough and vulgar.
Oh, nonsense. I'm sure Sid will soon get used to you.
Thank you.
You know, come to think of it, and looking at you now, there's quite a resemblance.
Sid and me.
Yes, especially the profile.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, but you're not.
Really?
According to your students, you were here all the time.
Yes, well.
Well, where exactly were you?
But we told you.
I am asking Mr. Brown. Well?
Yes,
And what is going on?
I don't know, but from their sign language, I think they're trying to say that I was having a cup of tea in the toilet. Actually, Miss Courtney, I'll tell you the truth. I am late, and the reason is this. I just popped across to the pub for some cigarettes, was mistaken for a waiter, bought 2 drinks for 2 people I'd never even met before, was called a peasant, and finished up by pouring a glass of lager over a gentleman's head.
You're an even bigger liar than your students. I would have thought that you would have made an effort to be early this evening. After all, it is your last chance to teach them something before they take their exams tomorrow.
Yes, Miss Courtney, you're quite right, as usual.
Not that I think any of them have the remotest chance of passing. Now, Mr. Brown, I understand that none of your previous students passed their lower Cambridge certificate.
Well, I think there were a few near misses.
That is not good enough. Obviously, Mr. Brown, you are sadly lacking in the necessary qualities required to teach English.
Oh, just a moment.
Don't interrupt. I shall be keeping a very close eye on you this term, Mr. Brown, and unless I see a marked improvement, out you go.
Well, it's not
I
necessarily
have no
altogether...
wish to listen to your feeble excuses. That's better.
It was if I'm going to a cup final.
Sydney, go and sweep the schoolyard.
I swept it up once.
Well, sweep it again.
You wouldn't like me to go down on my hands and knees and scrub it, would you?
Don't be ridiculous. It wouldn't dry before they arrived. I think I'll go and polish the silver.
What silver?
Well, I brought my silver tea set in case they wanted a drink.
Oh, perhaps the Duke would prefer a tot of rum, being an ex-naval man.
Oh, dear. I hadn't thought of that. Oh, well, he'll just have to make do with sherry.
Shall I ask Gladys to make up a couple of ham rolls in case they feel a bit peckish?
Ham rolls? You can't give royalty ham rolls. This is a very special occasion. Tell her to open a tin of salmon.
They won't want anything to eat.
It is better to be prepared. Oh, I wonder if we should have got a red carpet.
Look, why don't you go the whole hog and ask the music class to play the national anthem as they enter? This is supposed to be an informal visit.
I don't think you're approaching this special occasion in the right attitude.
I think you're being carried away.
Nonsense. This is an opportunity for all the staff and students to show their loyalty and devotion to our sovereign. It's up to the entire school to make a good impression. And one never knows where it may lead. The New Year's honours list isn't far away.
Honours list?
Yes. A knighthood could be within your grasp.
A knighthood?
Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Majesty?
I beg your pardon.
I thought you were the Queen.
Have you been drinking?
No, just daydreaming.
Well, you had better wake up.
Where?
Down there.
Oh! Oh!
Stupid fool, you have crowned my Albert. matter? Hello, darling. It's you. Oh, where's Albert? You haven't pushed him down the stairs, have you?
No, he's just gone to comb his hair.
Well, is he all right? There's no damage, I hope.
I'm afraid there is, actually.
Oh, dear. Is it bad?
Well, the plant pot's broken.
I was referring to Albert.
Oh, Albert, no, he's fine. I'll get it.
Darling.
Oh, it's you. Yes, this is Darling. Miss Courtney.
Albert!
Dolores.
Dolores?
Haven't you a class to attend to?
Yes, of course, Darling. Dolores. Excuse me. Has he tried to borrow any money from you?
And I fail to see what business that is of yours.
He has. Look, I hate to have to tell you, Miss Courtney, but your future husband is a crook.
Don't be so impertinent.
It's true, I'm afraid. Miss Courtney, he's gone.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Brown. Hush me.
Miss Courtney, I'm in terrible trouble.
You certainly are. You're 10 minutes late.
No, worse than that. I've lost £230 that Ranjit gave me to look after.
Well, how on earth did you manage to do that?
I've no idea. It must have fallen out of my pocket.
Good evening, Mr. Brown. I hear you managed to raise the money for Mr. Singh's fare.
Yes, he'll be at the airport now.
How is he going? By plane or balloon?
Oh, you heard about that?
Yes.
Yes, if that caretaker hadn't been on the roof to catch my legs, heaven knows where I'd be now.
Where you usually are, Mr. Brown, with your head in the clouds.
Crumpet.
If this is an example of your teaching methods, Mr. Brown, I am not amused.
Oh, it's probably something he's picked up from Giovanni. Yeah, well, I had planned to do something on Sunday.
Cancel it.
Yeah, well, I don't think I can, you see.
I shall expect you to be here on Sunday at 12 o'clock sharp.
I'm thinking we are lost.
We are not lost. Now, where are we, Sid?
I don't know. You had the map. You were doing the navigating.
Well, I couldn't read it in that old bone shaker of yours. It kept jiggling up and down.
Then you should have jiggled up and down with it.
We are most definitely lost.
I'm not lost. We're just not where we should be.
Well, perhaps you could show us where we should be.
Well, I know where we should be. I just don't know where we are.
We are.
Look, we passed a sign just down the road. Now, did anybody see what it said?
Yes, please.
Right, well, I'll look it up on the map, and then we will know where we are.
I really don't think that would be much help, Mr. Brown.
With all due respect, Miss Courtney, I happen to possess a Pathfinder's badge from the Boy Scouts, so I know quite a bit about mapping. Once I know what the sign said, it's a simple matter to find out our exact location. Now, what did the sign say?
Cattle crossing.
Yep.
Do you think you can find that on the map, Mr. Brown?
I think we're up here.
No, we're definitely down here.
You are both wrong. We are over here.
Oh, sorry I'm late, Miss Courtney.
So am I. I have just been seeing how your students are getting on.
Oh, I think they're progressing.
Yes, but in which direction?
Yes, Miss Courtney.
What have you done about the concert?
Pardon?
Is everybody in this school going deaf? I want to know what you have done about the school concert.
Concert?
There has been a notice on the board for the past 2 weeks. You haven't read it.
Well, sit there, Miss Courtney.
Thank you. I do hope I am going to enjoy this.
So do I.
I wouldn't like to be embarrassed in front of our distinguished guests.
Oh, no. What distinguished guests?
Quite a few members of the Education Authority always come to see our concerts. I don't want a repetition of what happened last year.
But what happened?
Mr. Jarvis's woodwork students were quite awful. They sang bawdy rugby songs out of tune. Mr. Jarvis still hasn't found another job.
How comforting. Right, would you all come out here when I introduce you? I act as a kind of compere.
Well, I shall stop you if there's anything I don't like.
Right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop.
Is something the matter?
This concert takes place in the afternoon.
Ah. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all sitting comfortably.
Stop.
Now, what was wrong with that?
Mr. Brown, by the time you and your class come on, the audience will have been sitting on those hard chairs for 1.5 hours. I wouldn't mention anything about comfort if I were you.
Stop! Why? You tell me, stop.
Because it was awful.
Oh, I thought it had a certain style.
Yes, sickening.
All we need is a little practice.
Can't afford the plates.
Well done. Sit down, both of you. Jolly good.
Well, Mr. Brown, I think we can write your class off.
Oh, please, Miss Courtney, the students will be so disappointed. I mean, we still have 3 days. Just give us a chance, eh?
Oh, well, very well. But remember this, Mr. Brown. Good jobs are hard to find.
I'm sure you could make an exception for a little donation of £2,000.
This isn't the Dorchester Hotel, you know. This is an educational establishment. You can't expect us to bend the rules just because you plonked £2,000 on the table. Can he, Miss Courtney?
Well, of course he can.
Look, wouldn't it be far simpler for you to just get another chauffeur?
No, I couldn't do that. You see, Jock's father gave his life defending my father during the war. I feel I owe him a living.
Yeah, well, in that case, why don't you make him very happy and give him a job in your harem or something?
Don't be stupid, Mr. Brown. Now, listen to me, Mr. Brown. You are a teacher of English, and it is your job to teach English no matter who or what your students may happen to be.
Well, actually, I
don't
tried to tell you-
interrupt. Not what?
Expecting?
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
What was that?
A look in the pram.
It's a baby.
Well, it's certainly not a cocker spaniel.
What is going on?
What are you doing? You're dead.
Really? Nobody told me about it. Hello, Miss Courtney.
Mr. Brown, this is a surprise. Did you forget something when you left last night?
No.
Then to what do we owe the honour of this visit?
Well, you've done something to your hair.
My hair.
Yes, looks different somehow. Much more feminine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you don't mind me saying so, you really look quite attractive.
All right, Mr. Brown, what are you after? Well, I'm wise enough to know when I'm being softened up. Now, what is it you want? Oh, a reference, no doubt.
Well, not exactly.
Well, what is it then?
Well, I'll come straight to the point, Miss Courtney.
Good.
I thought about this new job last night, and I've suddenly realised that money isn't everything.
Really?
After all, you can't buy happiness.
So you've decided not to take this job?
You're very perceptive.
I tried to telephone you earlier today to ask you to bring back the register. Mr. English said that you weren't there because there hadn't been a vacancy after all.
Ah.
Yeah. So now you've come crawling back to me, expecting to be reinstated.
Yeah, well, I would be grateful. I mean, after all, it'd be much easier on the students. I mean, easier all round, really.
Do I quite agree?
Oh, good.
Except for one thing. I have already engaged a new teacher. Well, Mr. Brown, I suggest you start immediately.
Ah, right, Miss Courtney.
On a temporary basis, of course.
I think I'll go and sweep the floor.
Yes, I...
Stay where you are. Now, let's see what we can hear. When you have finished with it, perhaps you would be kind enough to return it to the music class?
Yes, certainly.
You may go.
Thank you. Here we are, that's it, there's no more.
No, definitely no more.
Just a moment.
Pompous old twit. She's a pompous old twit.
I see. I am a pompous old twit, am I?
That wasn't you.
Really?
Good Lord, no, was it, Sid?
No, Richard, never hold in.
Yeah.
Then who was it?
Who? Well, it was...
Yes, it was the other old boiler, Gladys the tea lady.
Yes, that's right, Gladys.
I would hardly call Gladys pompous.
Oh, wouldn't you? She can be very pompous at times.
I see. Well, perhaps you would tell pompous Gladys that I am waiting for my coffee. By the way, we've got one.
One what?
Don't you ever read the notice board?
I don't get a lot.
Obviously not.
Max, how many times do I have to tell you? Smoking is
Well,
not
never
allowed.
mind about that now, Mr. Brown. Raining in the office, Mr. Brown.
No. What? No, I'm just checking it. I'm thinking of buying this.
You know that it is unlucky to put up an umbrella indoors?
Well, it's a good job I'm not superstitious.
How's that?
Oh, very nice.
Well, you can take those and hand them out.
Right.
Now, I think it's time that we were all going home. Oh, that's funny.
What is?
I don't seem to be able to find my coat.
Oh, I hope you look. What does it look like?
Well, it's a sort of tweed mixture with fur around the cuffs.
And fur on the collar?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
What's the matter?
I thought everything on this rail was for the jumble sale.
What have you done with my coat?
I'm afraid I sold it to Gladys for £5.
Done what?
Yeah, but don't worry, I'll get it back. Miss Courtney, I didn't hear you come in.
Obviously.
How long have you been
Long
here?
enough. And now, Mr. Brown, if you don't mind, this horse of a different colour, this human ogre, would like to find out how clever your students are.
Yeah, well, certainly, they're all yours.
Brown? Mr. Brown?
Yes?
Would you wait in the corridor until I have finished with your students?
Well,
Good, and shut the door after you. Oh, and Mr. Brown,
Yes?
you might as well take this. You may need it for your milkman. I don't think I can stand anymore. Mr. Brown,
Finished already?
I am leaving while I still retain some shred of sanity.
Evening, everybody.
Good evening, Mr. Brown.
Miss Courtney.
You're late.
Yeah, well, no, I've been here for ages. I've been all over the school looking for you.
Really? What for?
Well, I was to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, how kind. How did you know?
Oh, I found out. Class?
Happy birthday, Miss Courtney.
Thank you very much. Anything else?
No.
Oh, I see. Well, Mr. Brown, if you are late one more time, you're in trouble.
Miss Courtney.
Enter.
Miss Courtney.
Mr. Brown, I was just thinking about you.
Really?
Yes, there's something I want to say to
Yeah,
you.
there's something I have to say to you.
Oh, well, after you.
No, after you.
No, I insist. What did you want to say?
Well, wouldn't you like to sit down?
Oh, no, I don't want to crush this mink. Go on.
Well, firstly, let me say that right away I have no wish to upset you on your birthday.
Oh, nothing you could say today would upset me.
I wouldn't bank on that.
Mr. Brown, I must confess that there have been times in the past when I have thought that you were selfish and lazy and inconsiderate.
Well, I am.
But you aren't. I was wrong. And I want you to know that I shall never forget this birthday as long as I live.
Neither will I.
Oh, it's such a wonderful present.
Yeah, Miss Courtney.
Call me Dolores.
Pardon?
And I think it's time we stopped being so formal. While we're in the office here alone, there's no reason why we can't be more intimate.
Intimate?
Yes. Well, you may call me Dolores, and I shall call you Jeremy.
Look, Miss Courtney. Dolores.
That's better.
About this mink jacket. What's the matter?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just that, well, I'm so overcome. It's such an expensive gift you've given me.
No, I didn't.
Well, I know that your students must have contributed, but after all, it was your idea, wasn't it?
Well, actually...
And I just don't deserve it. I mean, what did I give you for your birthday last year? A ballpoint. A miserable ballpoint.
Well, if it'll make you any happier, I'll take the mink back and buy you a ballpoint.
It looks like another one of them letters for you.
Oh, no. You have been warned. I am going to get you. Oh, I really think I should tell the police.
Miss Courtney, about the jacket.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Now, I don't want to crush it. I wonder if you would be kind enough to hang it up for me.
Well, there's something I must tell you.
Not now, Mr. Brown. Later. Can't you see I'm busy?
I didn't want you to put it in her office. I wanted to make a proper presentation. Sorry.
Oh, stand back! Stand back, it's a ball!
Thank you very much.
You go that way, I'll go this.
Shut up.